Hi, my name is Jay Stapley and I'm a session guitarist. I've made my living for the past 50 years playing guitar, doing everything from gigs in wine bars to football stadiums, recording sessions from bedroom demos to multi-million selling albums in the world's great studios. And I'd like to pass on some tips of how the pros play. In this video series, Play Guitar Like a Pro. And I'm going to share some of the knowledge and experience and tips and tricks that I've amassed over the years that have enabled me to make a living. Strangely, very little of it has to do with incredibly technical and complex playing. Most of it has to do with mental approach and a proper understanding of the guitar fretboard. And the first tip I'll give you is this. You need to know every note on every fret on every string. If you learn that and combine that with your knowledge of notes in chords, you can start to play the guitar in a much freer way and be much more inventive. And the best way to do this is to learn all the notes up to the 5th fret first, then all the notes up to the 9th fret, and then all the notes up to the 12th fret. And of course, once you get to the 12th fret, it starts all over again. Keep watching, and at the end of the video, I'll give you a really good exercise for developing this skill and honing your fretboard knowledge. So there's the first tip. Learn every note on every string. That then opens huge doors to you, and you can do all sorts of stuff that previously would have been outside of your grasp. We're going to look at things like escaping the prison of the minor pentatonic. Are you the person at the blues jam that spends the night going because you've read somewhere or seen YouTube videos that say that blues players like Clapton, Bonamassa use the minor pentatonic when they're playing the blues? Yes, they do, but you'll be wondering why you don't sound like them if you're just robotically playing the scale. The difference is they don't just play the scale, they know how to use the scale. So we're going to be looking at that, escaping the minor pentatonic prison. We're also going to be looking at learning how not to always play all 6 strings. If I take a typical chord sequence like this one, which is the chords to the old soul classic Higher and Higher, it goes D, G, E minor 7, D. It can also go D, E minor 7, G, D, and the beginner will play it like this. Which is fine if you're playing solo acoustic guitar, but if you're playing in a band, basically you're already muddying up the bass by playing down here. You're getting in the range of all the keyboards because you're around the middle. The pro will play it something like this. I'm only playing the top 3 strings. So for the D chord, I'm playing a D, an A and a D. For the G chord, I'm playing a D, a G and a D. All those notes are in a chord of G. For the E minor 7, I'm playing an E, a G and a D. All those notes are in the chord of E minor 7. And then back to a D, but this time a D, an F sharp and a D. So I've got... So we're going to look at a lot of chord fragments. We're going to look at things like harmonized scales. All those kind of techniques. We're going to look at soloing techniques, like how to choose which notes to play of any chord sequence, no matter how sophisticated it is. There's a lot of players who give lessons who say, well, you've got to learn, oh, over this chord you play this mode or this scale. I don't know any players who think like that when they're playing at all. What you do think about is the notes in the chords, which leads you to get interested in how chords are constructed. So for example, this shape, that's an A minor chord. A, C, E, A. If I had a chord sequence that went A minor, F major 7, D minor 9, C6, a beginner would play it down there, doing that, doing those shapes. A pro would just play this. They are all the same shape, but it's the same chord. A minor, that's A, C, E, another A, so it's A, C and E. And F major 7 is also an A, a C and an E. You don't have to play the F, leave that to the bass player. A D minor 9 is an A, a C and an E. And a C6 is an A, a C and an E. So we're going to learn more about chord construction and how you can use it. We're going to look at making up parts for songs, and I'm going to be showing you a typical recording session. I do loads of them online for people all over the world, and we're going to analyse what approach I take, both mental and physical. We're going to look at using open strings in chords. We're going to look at soloing techniques over advanced chords. We're going to look at how to play high gain single note things without fluffing these strings each side of the one you want to play. And loads of other stuff that comes up. And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments and we'll do a video on it. Okay, so here's the exercise that I told you about for improving your fretboard knowledge. And I got this from Verheyen, the American guitarist, who I interviewed a few years ago for Guitarist magazine. And we were talking about practicing and practice routines. And we found that we both have the same approach to it. We don't really have formal practice sessions, as in, oh, I'm going to sit and practice this scale or that scale or this lick or that lick. We just play. So we put up a drum groove or a backing track or something and just jam along. But then he said, actually, I do have one exercise that I do just to get my head working and to get locked into the notes on the fretboard. And this is a really good one. It's easier to do than it is to talk about. I have tried doing it while talking about it and failed. So I'm going to describe it first. What you do is you play a scale of C from the lowest note in the scale on the guitar, which in this case is the bottom E open, up to the highest note in the scale on the guitar, which in this case is the D at the 22nd fret on this strat. And then you come all the way back down again, but you take a different route on the way down to the route you took on the way up. So if I played this section of it on the G string, I'll play this section of it next time on the way down on the D string. So I'll play once up and down to demonstrate. Change to the A string, change to the D string, change to the G string, change to the B string, change to the top E string, and start back down again. Now I'm going to change to the B string here, change to the G string here, change to the D string there, change to the A string. All the way down. I made one tiny mistake. Sorry about that. But I was talking at the time. So now, when I get to the bottom, without stopping, I now play a scale of F. So I go up a fourth, but I play a scale of F. took a different route on the way down to the one I took on the way up. When I get to the bottom, which in this case is at the F, because actually I could go to an E, couldn't I? Yeah. So then I play a scale of E flat. Sorry, B flat. So then I play a scale of B flat. When I get to the bottom, without stopping, I play a scale of E flat. When I get to the bottom, without stopping, I play a scale of A flat. So you can see we're going up in fourths. We started on a C scale, went to an F scale, went to a B flat, went to an E flat scale, now an A flat scale. When I finish that, I go to a D flat scale. When I finish that, I go to a G flat scale, also known as F sharp. And when I finish that, I go to a B scale, then an E scale, then an A scale, then a D scale, and a G scale, and finish up back on a C scale. So this has the twin benefits of really developing your knowledge of the major scale on the guitar and finding the required note on the fretboard instantaneously without having to stop and think about it. I commend it to you. Have a go. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, please. It really helps my viewing figures on YouTube. And look forward to seeing you for the next one. Thank you.